Atwood dropped her children off at school on January 3rd and never returned to pick them up.
Why ain't got no bond?
It's because tampering with evidence is considered an offense.
The body of Kayla Atwood was found overnight in Escambia County.
A mother of 4 woke up, got her children ready, and took them to daycare. By the end of that day, she had vanished without a trace, and the man responsible believed he had covered every track behind him. He was wrong. The disappearance of 32-year-old Kayla Atwood began in Pensacola, Florida. To friends and family, Kayla was the kind of person who filled a room with energy. She loved singing, loved making videos, loved spending time with her children. More than anything, she was devoted to being a mother. Her entire life revolved around her 4 kids. That fact would become one of the first clues investigators couldn't ignore. On January 3rd, Kayla dropped her 2 youngest children off at daycare. Then she vanished.
Where did Kayla drop off her 2 youngest children on January 3rd, 2024?
Hours passed. The daycare waited. Closing time came and went. Nobody arrived to collect the children. Staff members began making phone calls. No answer. Eventually, family members were contacted. Almost immediately, they knew something was terribly wrong. Kayla wasn't the type to ignore her children. As panic spread through the family, a missing persons report was filed, and police began piecing together the final known hours of Kayla's life. Their first stop was the daycare. At first, nothing seemed unusual. Employees remembered seeing Kayla that morning, but one detail stood out. She hadn't arrived in her own vehicle. Instead, she had been seen climbing into a large yellow Penske moving truck. That immediately caught investigators' attention.
I believe a
Penske or U-Haul? A big truck?
A moving...
Nobody who knew Kayla could explain why she was riding around in a commercial box truck. It made no sense. Surveillance footage soon confirmed what witnesses had reported. There was Kayla, getting into the passenger side of the truck, then driving away. It would be one of the last confirmed sightings of her alive.
Who gave Kayla a ride in the yellow Penske moving truck?
Now detectives had their first major lead. Who was driving that truck? The answer led them to a tire delivery worker named Tony. When detectives located him, they quickly realized he wasn't trying to hide anything. In fact, he seemed genuinely shocked to learn Kayla was missing.
So, her family has reported missing, so that's how we ended up here.
Oh.
So, can you tell me how you met Brittany?
Online.
According to Tony, the two had recently connected through a dating app. Their relationship was brand new, casual, nothing serious. Kayla had asked for a ride. Tony agreed. He explained that he helped her take the children to daycare and then allowed her to ride along while he completed deliveries. They talked, grabbed food, spent a few hours together. Later, he dropped her back home. Then Tony mentioned something strange. The first involved a white pickup truck.
I don't know if it was pool stuff on the back.
Do you remember what color it was or what kind of
It was
truck?
a all white truck.
On one of the mornings he picked Kayla up, another man suddenly appeared outside her house. He questioned Tony, asked who he was, asked about Kayla. The interaction lasted only moments before Kayla brushed it off and told Tony not to worry. She reportedly referred to the man as her brother, but Tony didn't believe it. Then came the second strange detail. Only minutes after dropping Kayla off at home on January 3rd, Tony received a phone call from her number. When he answered, a man's voice was on the other end. The caller demanded to know who he was. Tony found the conversation odd and ended it immediately. Investigators realized that phone call might be one of the most important moments in the entire case, because by then, Kayla may already have been in danger. While detectives followed Tony's information, Kayla's family had their own suspicions. Those suspicions centered around a recent ex-boyfriend named Male Fountain. The relationship had moved quickly. The pair had only known each other for a matter of weeks. But according to family members, Male had become deeply involved in Kayla's life. Then suddenly the relationship ended. And after the breakup, his behavior began raising alarms. One of the biggest red flags emerged when investigators learned Male had already been visiting neighbors asking questions about surveillance footage. That was unusual enough, but what made it even stranger was the timing. At that point, Kayla hadn't even officially been reported missing. Yet Mail was already telling people she had been kidnapped. How did he know that? Why was he saying it? And why was he so interested in security cameras? The more detectives dug, the worse things looked.
What type of vehicle did Male Fountain drive?
Mail drove an older white pickup truck, the same type of vehicle Tony had described. Phone records and surveillance footage began building a timeline. Evidence showed Kayla returned home shortly after being dropped off by Tony. Just minutes later, Mail arrived. Then came the mysterious call from Kayla's phone to Tony, the same call Tony had described. Cell phone data revealed something even more troubling. After arriving at Kayla's home, Mail's phone and Kayla's phone began moving together. Soon afterward, Kayla's phone went silent forever. Detectives intensified their investigation. Then they discovered something that transformed suspicion into evidence. Mail had deleted large portions of communication with Kayla. Messages were missing. Investigators learned he had also accessed a neighbor's surveillance system, and someone had manually deleted footage. On January 9th, Mail was arrested for tampering with evidence. But detectives still needed to find Kayla. By analyzing location data from Mail's phone, detectives tracked a route leading away from Pensacola. The path eventually stopped near a remote wooded area.
Where did investigators find Kayla's body?
Investigators searched the location. What they found was impossible to miss. A patch of disturbed earth, freshly altered ground, out of place. Buried in a shallow grave was Kayla Atwood. The search was over. The murder investigation had begun. An autopsy later revealed she had been killed by a gunshot wound to the head. For her family, the discovery brought both heartbreak and relief. As investigators continued building their case, the evidence against Mail became overwhelming. Digital records, deleted messages, location data, witness testimony, surveillance footage. Every road seemed to lead back to him. When police arrived to arrest him for murder, they found him hiding inside a closet at his mother's home.
We arrested Michael Fountain, 34-year-old black male, charged him with homicide, battery, and resisting arrest.
Eventually, prosecutors argued that jealousy fueled the crime. They believed Mail couldn't accept the end of the relationship. He watched Kayla move on. He saw her spending time with another man, and he snapped. After a lengthy legal battle, a jury agreed. In early 2026, Mail Fountain was found guilty of second-degree murder.
What sentence did Male Fountain receive after being found guilty of second-degree murder?
The sentence was life in prison without the possibility of parole. For the justice system, the case was closed. For Kayla's family, it never will be. A mother was taken from 4 children. A daughter never returned home. A sister never got another chance to laugh with her family.